need to be repaid. In other words, once again, Greece can roll over its debts. Now, the fact that Greece hasn't defaulted yet is because the government is doing an exceptional job fixing the government revenue mechanism, and that they're actually paying back debts without rolling them over to new debts. I can't recall any country in the world that has ever done this. So they are taking money out of the economy to pay back the IMF. Are they doing this, or is this a game? And you might think that's crazy, right? I mean, isn't the whole idea of an anti-austerity populist government not to squeeze people to pay back its lenders? I think there's a political game being played here that is much more complex, and it's a risky analysis, but I have an analysis on this. The German finance minister Schäuble, I think, is interested in the humiliation of this government. When I say Schäuble, I mean I'm referring to the figurehead, okay, the frontman.
Right.
Now, Schäuble is interested in humiliating the Greek government that had the audacity to challenge the way things are being run. What is it Schäuble doesn't want? He doesn't want a precedent being set that European countries can govern themselves and elect whomever they want to elect. Well, what is that Schäuble also doesn't want? He doesn't want to overthrow Tsipras in a way that will make him a hero. Now, what does he actually want? It is to either make Tsipras bow to his will, surrender to austerity and humiliate him in the eyes of the Greek people, and then overthrow him, or to humiliate him in any other way he can, and then get rid of Syriza and all this. Now, a Greek default triggered by an inability to pay back European institutions would make it seem like the Europeans have declared war against the Greek government. Politically, it's very difficult. But up until June, the only money that Greece needs to pay back is to the IMF, and which is considered to be inside the US sphere of influence, with the current US administration somewhat more friendly towards Greece. What Greece is currently trying to do is, firstly, agree on a reform package without the austerity, and secondly, start a discussion on how Europe needs to confront its own structural problems. It would be a godsend for Schäuble if Greece was to default on the IMF. In other words, fail to pay back money to the IMF, because that would begin a process of panic, capital flight, humiliation, with the Europeans blackmailing Greece, as they did with Cyprus, if you remember. Mm-hmm. And indeed, that is what was probably being planned for a long time by Schäuble in cooperation with recently fallen government in Greece. All this gives me the feeling that the Greek default is part of the plan, but they're trying to make the IMF to make the IMF responsible for it. In other words, make the IMF look bad. The only question is whether the Greek government could find a way to continue paying back to the IMF in May and June. In other words, June is the turning point.
Okay, so Schäuble wants to blame it all on the IMF. We'll be following it. Thank you, Michael. We'll see you next week. Great work as always.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill, and I had high blood pressure, high blood sugar, poor vision, and I really wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess, pretty much.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract, and from within a few days, I started sleeping a lot better. My blood pressure normalized, my blood sugar normalized, and my sleep really did improve.
Experience these benefits and more when your body gets what it needs with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
Folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Ouch! My back is out again.
Hi, Dr. Ortman with Wellspring Spinal Care. If you're experiencing neck, mid, or lower back pain, this information is for you. One of the complaints that I hear is patients receive their typical adjustment, only having to repeat them as the pain returns. Putting the bones back in place is only half of the battle. At Wellspring Spinal Care, we have the entire solution. We use the NUCA approach, utilizing three-dimensional x-rays and gentle touch technology to deliver specific correction. We then design a custom nutritional supplement program which provides essential nutrients targeting the areas of concern. With a NUCA approach and proper nutrition, you'll be on your way to a faster and more permanent recovery. To get you on the road to wellness, visit drortman.com. That's drortman.com, or call us today, 952-303-9124. That's 952-303-9124. Wellspring Spinal Care, chiropractic done right.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GC.
Radio. This is Webster, Tarpley in Washington, D.C. Now we're going to get a report from Reverend Edward Pinkney, who is still a prisoner of the Rick Snyder regime in Michigan. Reverend, can you hear me?
I can hear you quite well.
Reverend,
well.
I got to ask you to do me a favor now. I was traveling last week, and I need you to bring me up to speed on what happened in that hearing last week and where we go from here. And I think some of our listeners also need to be updated. So please go ahead.
Absolutely, Webster. Absolutely. Listen, on April the 14th, we went into the courtroom. We were slinging our pistols, and our pistols was loaded. And my attorney, I felt, took a dive, but unfortunately, we got enough in to get something done. The judge judge denied my request for a new trial, which I kind of like anticipated that because he had some information. Why would he give me a new trial if he already has that information? But here's the kicker. He's attempting to extort money from me. He wants to give the mayor almost $1,800 of my money, which is strictly extortion. That's what he did. This judge, he has no integrity. He's dishonest, but yet still, it's going to take the people to take a change. But here's where we're going with this. We should have, if things work out, if we raise another additional $1,500, we are going to have the transcript not next week, but the following week. And then we can go straight into the appeal court. So we're trying to do some stuff right now. We're working on it, and we're trying to make sure to get to the appeal court. We should have been in the appeal court, but unfortunately, we didn't have the money to get the transcript and all that kind of stuff. But we're there now. We're just one step away from getting this transcript and moving this thing to a whole different level. But the fight continues. We're not giving up. We decided that the move that they have been making, the things that they have been doing is just almost unheard of. But this is what they do. Here I am. I'm in prison now, and some of these ghost stories that I have been hearing is almost enough to scare you. And it tells you about our system. You see, and here's what I do. See, I'm speaking out against this corruption in this system, but I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm not even, with anxiety or sorrow in my heart. Above all, this is a passionate desire to see our beloved country stand as a moral example of the world. I believe that the unarmed truth and unconditional love will have a final word in reality. That's why right now, temporary defeat is stronger than evil triumph. It's not one thing that's bothering me. It's everything in this country. So we have to move this thing to a different level, show people what we're capable of doing. But, here's the biggest thing. We have to come together and fight this monster because it's getting worse now than ever before. They want to put everybody in prison. They're expecting over 3 million people to be in this prison system by the year 2020. I'm saying 3 million. This is what they were telling me the other day. They say they're going to get 3 million. They say it's right now it's over 2.5. And they say they expect it to get worse before it gets better. But that's because the people are silent. They're not speaking up. They're not saying and doing the things that they need to be done. So we need everybody help Webster. We need people who have never done nothing before in their life to come step to the plate. And everybody can do something. Everybody. See, everybody thinks that, that they can't do it. I don't care if you're living in Mexico. You could be living in Toronto. You can do something. So we must stand together, Webster, and fight this monster and win this battle. And I know we can.
And Reverend, let me make it concrete for people, right? The obvious thing, many ways you can help, but one of the most basic to get the money for the transcript and the basis of the appeal, you have to go to bhbanco.org. So it's Benton Harbor Black Autonomy Network of Community Organizations.org. Look a little bit over to the right and down, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a PayPal. And you can make a contribution there from just about anybody, any place in the world, as far as I can see. So bhbanco.org, $1,500 still needed for a transcript. Reverend, let's just go backwards. Now, this guy, Sterling Schrock, the judge,
yes,
right, about to go into his new retirement job and promoted and everything. He's trying to get $1,800 in damages from you because you dared to activate a recall, which is legally provided for, against the mayor of Benton Harbor. Have I got that right?
You are absolutely correct. He's claiming that this man had a nervous condition and he had to take off 1 day of work. They was trying to get $7,000 from me. They was working together, the prosecutor, the judge, and this sleazeball mayor. We was going to put him on the stand. They wouldn't even let him come on the stand because they knew that he was going to lie, and we'll catch him in a lie. That's why he never came to court. But it's what amazed me more than anything else that we was in there even without my attorney, I had already made all the notes, all the questions I wanted him to ask, because he was so unprepared that I had to write those questions out, and they brought me there. But here's something else. I need someone